Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk today about the rape pandemic and the rape epidemic that South Africa is having right now, and just a little bit of statistics, okay? And there's this liberal news show called the Young Turks, TYT. That's what they call themselves. And they pointed this out back in 2009, okay? And it's steadily getting worse. It's not getting any better. That this was an anonymous survey that was done to South African guys, okay? And 25% of South African males admit to having raped at least one woman, okay? These are 25% that have admitted it, okay? There's no telling how many people on that survey lied and said they didn't when they did, particularly when 25% of people have admitted it. And then on top of that, okay, of the 25%, then another 3% in that survey admitted to having raped little boys. That is a sick crisis that is going on. And as I pointed out, you know, I'm an admirer of Nelson Mandela. I've read his book, The Long Walk to Freedom. It's a really good book, and I recommend it. I admire what South Africa did in the Korean War. I admire what they did in World War II. They've done a lot of good things. I was glad they won the 1995 Rugby World Cup, to be honest with you. I still promote the film Invictus, but this is a situation that needs to be dealt with. Okay, this is sad. And very sick and sadistic, by the way. And that is what's going on. Also, a young girl in South Africa is more likely to be raped right now than to be literate. That is how heavy of a pandemic that is. And as I pointed out in previous videos, I believe the act of homosexuality is wrong, but I also believe it's between you and the good Lord. And I don't think there should be punishment because somebody's homosexual. Okay, I believe that's between them and God. Now, gay marriages is a different story. I'm honestly okay with gay marriages as long as the government doesn't force the churches to recognize them. And I don't think there's enough provision in the new gay marriage legalization, but there needs to be more mentioning and not forcing the churches to recognize them. This is why I stand opposed to them. If it was very, very clear that they weren't going to force the churches to recognize them, that'd be a different story. But back on topic, okay? What's going on in South Africa right now is there's a corrective rape. Basically, if a woman comes out of the closet to being a lesbian and stating that she has a sexual preference for women rather than men, what goes on in South Africa a lot of times is there's a corrective rape that goes on. And back in 2015, Journeyman Pictures interviewed a South African woman, and she had about 4 or 5 kids, and most of them, if not all of them, had been conceived through corrective rape. And that is just a sick, sadistic situation, and that needs to be stopped. You don't do something like that. I mean, you are... Anyways, this needs to be brought to the attention, and you know, yeah, what happened in apartheid was really sick, but this is sick too, and this needs to be taken care of, regardless of what race or color is doing it, regardless of who heads the government, which party, which race or color. This needs to be taken care of, and this needs to be corrected. So, when 25% of people in a survey admit to having raped at least one woman, when corrective rape is a big problem, and it really isn't corrective, at least in my view it's not. It's a pretty sick way to call corrective. And then gang rape's a problem. There's quite a few. You watch the news and listen to news articles, you hear about South African girls of all ages admit to being gang raped. That in some schools and some guy circles, that the guys think it's a cool thing to do. And that it's the thing to do is to rape a woman. It's very, very sick and sadistic. So anyways, hope everyone's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.